So what's going on, people? It's Chi. The general assumption at this point in the on-market wholesale real estate game, or within the wholesale real estate of on-market properties, is that you should be making at least 5 offers per day to see decent deal flow throughout the months, right? So a lot of people are trying to figure out, well, how do you make 5 offers in a day and do it swiftly and quickly? And I'm always trying to see if there's a way that I can kind of get that process to go a little bit smoother or more quickly. And I prefer to go about things using text messages, because I find that phone calls are often cumbersome, slow. It takes a lot of time to make one phone call. It'll take me 15 minutes at least, usually. That's the average time. So between 10 and 15 minutes for a phone call with an agent. For whatever reason, you're building rapport, you're just shooting the shit, and things tend to go about 10 to 15 minutes. That's my average conversation with an agent. So for me, texting makes a lot of sense because it makes things go a lot quicker. So in REI Reply, as everybody knows, is great at automation. And what I have done within REI Reply is to set up a few workflows and smart lists to speed up the process. So within my smart list, you see something called send offer. Now, those are properties that happen to be in my opportunities section, and you probably won't see this is direct seller stuff. I don't really do a lot of direct seller stuff, but if you're in my pipelines here, you'll see that there's a send offer section, and that send offer it's essentially in all my markets, right? And I've also shown people that I have all my markets in one sub account at this point. There isn't multiple markets. I mean, there isn't multiple accounts or sub accounts. So I do everything from one particular account, sub account. Like, I know that there are other people using Go High Level or versions of Go High Level, and they're saying, okay, well, you need to buy multiple sub accounts in order to have multiple markets. Well, it's just not true. There are ways you can get around that in one sub account. You just have to know how to tag and everything. So anyway, my tagging is done, as I've said multiple times before, with state, city. So I have state hyphen whatever that state is. Then I'll have a city hyphen whatever that city is. So that's how my stuff works, and everything goes that way. But anyway, once a property moves to this stage within the pipeline of send an offer, that automatically kicks it into, or tags it with a send offer tag. And then those send offers come here. I create a smart list. These are all assigned to myself, and the smart list has a few, just three different filters. So pipeline status is open, tag is send offer, assigned to myself, right? So that gives me my offers from multiple states, multiple markets, right? So then what I can do is I can just come in here and I can kick off this workflow by adding a tag, or just going on to the campaign and adding it to the workflow. Now, the workflow I have, let's see if I can show you that real quick. Yep. So I think this is it. No, here's the new version. I changed it up. All right. So get this out of the way. So what we have here is a basic workflow where you tag it with an on-market deal, MLS deal, and it checks to see if the person is a realtor, make sure they're not DNC'd or retired or unresponsive, one of those unresponsive people who just doesn't respond. So it goes through all of that, and it makes sure that the MLS number is not empty. So I have a contact field, a field that I created myself, and it basically allows me to install that MLS number. I install what the offer number is going to be. I install the address, and all that stuff goes. So all of that stuff self-populates in my text messages and everything else. Emails, I don't have to think about it. I can send the same blast out to everybody, and it will automatically populate, the address. It'll automatically populate the asking price or my offer price rather. So all that stuff is already done for you. It will blast it all out. So I can blast out to all 5 of these people at the same time relatively quickly at the end of the day. So I'll go through all my agent outreach, gathering properties, looking at stuff that's on the MLS, deciding which properties I want to offer on. And then at the end of the day, I can offer on 10 if I want to, let alone 5. 5 is like the bare minimum, but sometimes I'm offering on multiple up to 10, and I can shoot those out real quickly at the end of the day just by coming in here and tagging the stuff. But this is what the workflow looks like. It'll wait a minute. It'll remove them from all other workflows so there's no conflicts. It will send a text that basically says, hey, I saw your listing. I just want to know if that property is still available. If so, I'd like to make an offer, basically. And then it waits for them to respond. It only waits 4 hours or for their reply. If they reply right away, then it will go down this path here. Condition is yes. So the answer to it would be a yes. So I have all these conditions that would make it okay. If it's available, it's still available, positive yes, intent or yes. So all those things. And if it's a no, it goes down the other way, right? So I do that. And then it goes, okay, well, what's the condition? How old is the roof? That sort of thing. It sends a response for that. Waits for their response. If they don't respond, then it goes and it shoots them back kind of down the, hey, did you get my text? What's going on? What's up? It goes the same route here, right? So if they answer in the positive or they just respond, then it basically says, well, cool, whatever their answer is. I have it written in a way so that it's like, okay, well, I'd like to make an offer. Would you, be willing to represent me on this offer? You can get the commission. And if that works for you, are you willing to do that kind of thing? And then it's either yes, no, and then it goes to a manual response just in case they say something a little bit different from what would be. And that's the end. So from there, what I would do is take it to a different workflow, and we'll go to the other workflow here because this one is. So from there, it will go to the offer terms workflow, right? I just tag them with offer terms, right? And with the offer terms, it goes through similar process of waiting a couple minutes if they basically checking to see if they're a realtor and if all the fields that I talked about earlier are actually filled. So it has to have the offer address, it has to have the earnest money deposit, it has to have the offer amount, right? If it has all those things and it's satisfied and they have an email address, they have to have an email address, it'll go and it'll start to send them an offer. And my offers are already set up. It automatically pulls the whole offer address. It automatically will pull in city, state, all that stuff. It's going to pull in all that, the offer amount. It already has my proof of funds attached to it. Get a new one each month and just stick it on there. It has my EMD amount and it has my title companies and all that stuff. So all of that's done. It goes out to them just like that. I want to change something real quick here. I see that it needs to be changed. This needs to be updated here. Okay, I'm going to save that. So it goes through all that. But what happens if they don't have an email? So if they don't have an email, what happens is it's going to go through this section and it'll be like, okay, what's your email address? And at that point, it'll say, hey, I want to send the offer, but I need your email address. What's the email address? And then it'll wait for them to respond with the email address. And once they respond with the email address, right, then it goes to, okay, what, did they respond? Okay, yes, they did. It's going to wait. It says it's going to wait 5 minutes to make sure that email is populated. If the cool thing with REI Reply is if somebody sends you just their email address and they don't have an email address in there, it'll actually just pull that address into the email address spot. So I don't even have to think about it. If that email address goes, if they send me back their email address, it goes into the email spot in their contact information. And then it allows this to continue on. Okay, email is no longer empty. So then it goes to thank you. If it'll say thank you, it'll wait a minute. Then it'll go to back up here where it decides which market the person is based on the tags. It's going to decide at that point to send out the email. From there on out, it's going to just update a few things in the system. It's going to remove some tags, that offer terms tag. It's going to make note in the offer terms that the offer was sent. It's going to make a note actually in the notes that the offer was sent. And it's going to update or create an opportunity. From that point, it's still going to go on. It's going to wait 5 minutes. It's going to ask them if they got the offer and what they thought about it, and if they could get it to their seller. It's going to update some contact fields there. It's going to kind of basically zero out all of the contact fields so they'll be fresh for a new offer if they ever get a new property, right? It's going to then see if the contact replied. If not, if they don't reply, it's going to ask them again. Keep checking with them, make sure, hey, what's up with that offer? It's going to keep doing that for a while until they actually respond. When they respond, it'll remove them from the workflow, and I can just go back and check those messages. And that is basically how my offer flows work. Pretty cool. I'm still working on them, trying to get the kinks out. All this is always a work in progress, but it really streamlines the process for me. And I have some other things that are coming into the play that we have, like offers that we're not getting right now. We're starting to find out what they're set. So if we put in offers and we don't actually get those properties under contract, we want to know why. Okay, we want to know what those properties sold for. So we're looking at it and we're keeping tabs on all of the properties that are selling in our markets to know down to zip codes what buyers are paying for properties in those zip codes. So, whether it's 63% of ARV, I just saw one today that went for 63% of ARV. We lost that one, but just knowing the prices that these things are selling for and what percent of ARV they're going for is really helpful, because now we can kind of see, okay, what do we need to do to adjust our offers for those particular areas. So that's really helpful. And I will be making a spreadsheet for that, and I may be giving it out to people so that they can use that. Not sure yet. I got to see if I can get my guy to do the spreadsheet for me, but it'll be like a calculator, and it basically calculates, and it will go work through the system here. The system will keep tally of all those things, and we'll have a VA who will kind of update it, and it'll calculate the percent of ARV and all that. And hopefully that'll work great. I'm looking forward for that to come out hopefully next week. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions about offer terms or how this stuff works, I know I'm not giving you a visual of how it does. Unfortunately, I can't really do that on YouTube because YouTube will pull my videos if I show like contacts or something. So I'm thinking I might get a sub account so I can just kind of create some dummy contacts to kind of show you all how things work. Because right now I'd have to show you my contacts and the system's not going to allow that. And I probably wouldn't want to do that either because some of y'all try to steal my deals or something like that. So anyway, Hope that helped you all. And if you have any questions, let me know. Check out the comments. I'll leave some information on how you can get REI Reply in the details below the description. And hope that helps y'all. I'm out.